I am known for sticking to principle and not flip-flopping.
Yeah, we need a good man for presidency.
I would guarantee that I would never abuse habeas corpus.
We want him to get the America way up and help me.
The freedom message.
Hey, Ron.
Together, it doesn't divide us.
Ron, are you there? Do we have him? Ron Paul, are you there? Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, Terry, are you there?
Yeah, I love your show, Mancow.
Thank you. You want to say something to Ron Paul? I thought this would be a nice introduction. Go ahead.
Hey, excellent. Yeah, I just wanted to say that the reason that they don't want Ron Paul in the debate is because they're scared to death of him. And the biggest way to show that is just to mention Minnesota and Jesse Ventura. Jesse Ventura, a professional wrestler, people laughed at him. They thought he was a joke. And what happened? They let him into the debate. And
so you're saying if Ron Paul is let in, he could sweep?
Yes.
All right. I appreciate your call there. We go from Maryland to Ron Paul. Ron Paul, I got to think in Texas right now. Hey, Ron Paul.
Hello there. Good to be with you.
Good to have you back on the show. Look, I don't agree with you on a lot of things, but who cares? This is America, and I have a real problem with the way the Republicans are treating you.
Well, you know what? That's one issue, and of course, the positions I hold and our disagreements, they're legitimate, but I think most Americans agree with you and I that our voices shouldn't be closed out, that we should be allowed to participate. So I think we're trying our best to make good use of this, so it may turn out to help us more than it'll hurt us, so we'll have to just see what happens.
Are you off the debate list in Iowa? Is that a done deal?
Yeah, that's done.
Wow!
We did make a lot of inquiries. This comes up this Saturday.
Wow!
So,
hey, Ron, I know you're a politician. Excuse me. Are you pissed off?
Well, I'm not quite sure I'd put it in those words.
No, you can't. I'm a stupid radio host, and you're a politician. But
yeah, it is annoying. But I try to make the best of things, and I think it'll help me more than it's going to hurt me because we have a rally scheduled. The minute their little debate ends, our rally starts and is next door in the same building, and I suspect it's probably going to be a lot bigger than their little episode.
What are they afraid of, Ron?
Well, I don't think they like to be embarrassed because they say the things like I do, like they want less government, personal freedom, and strong national defense and defend borders, and they don't do anything. And then because I have said that, but I've also voted that way,
yeah.
And then if they have inconsistencies, and I point it out, and then defended by the Constitution, they have to reject the Constitution if they reject me.
Wow.
Because they don't say that I don't vote with the Constitution, but they don't like the embarrassment, and I think that's where the problem comes.
You know, Ron, I think I agree with you on most everything except Iraq. And that's what I don't agree with you on. So we can go to Iraq, but let's wait a second here. You want less government. Bush, it is so laughable to remember that this president of ours ran as the less government guy. He ran as a Washington outsider. I will never forget that because I was about 10 feet away from him when he said, as his father sat behind me, his father, the former president, his father, the former head of the CIA, as this guy sat and looked at the crowd and said, yeah, I'm a Washington outsider. We've got more government under this Republican group. It is sickening. I love how he sits and smirks as the American people want our borders closed. He sits and smiles and says, well, we're going to basically do whatever the hell we want. We're going to turn this place into a third world country. And our taxes, our markets, everything. This guy is not a Republican.
No, and I think he talks about borders and that he pretends he's going to protect them, but I think he believes in the North American Union. I don't think he believes in the national sovereignty the way we do. He wants to put Mexico and Canada and the United States together and have one currency moving toward a new world order. I mean, they haven't even been bashful. George Bush Sr. used the word.
Well, there you go.
We're on the verge of having the new world order.
Well, now I understand. Now I understand why they're trying to kick you out, Ron Paul. You can't say things like, well, you can say things like that, but you can't actually mean them. Look, are the Republicans and the Democrats the same?
Philosophically, they are, because they all believe in foreign intervention. They all believe in the paper money system run by the Federal Reserve. They all have no intention to get rid of the IRS. They don't want to really shrink the size of government. And now that the neocons are in charge, they have endorsed the idea of expansion of entitlements. I mean, we don't even talk about getting rid of the Department of Education, Department of Energy, and we have all these new departments coming in, and we have No Child Left Behind. We have Sarbanes-Oxley and all of these things.
Ron?
Yeah.
Something's happening, dude.
What's the matter?
I think I'm falling in love with you. You want to get rid of the IRS?
Yes. Is that a dangerous thing to say, too? I better be careful.
Wait, you want to get rid of the IRS, you want to close our borders.
Yeah.
You want to stick to the Constitution?
Yeah, now that's a radical idea.
I think I'm falling in love with you, Ron.
Uh-oh.
In a very heterosexual way. But
you're falling in love with liberty.
But no, I love liberty. I've always loved. I'm a libertarian. I love liberty. But you're also under the impression that we should get out of Iraq, right? You don't think we should kick ass and then come home?
And I know a way of getting you to think about my position.
Turn off the love music now. This is our first fight.
Okay, do you remember the quote by Randolph Bourne, who wrote in World War I? He was all for the war, and his son got killed, and he changed his mind, and he said, war is the health of the state. And I believe that's true. When you have a war, whether it's a war on drugs or a war overseas, it's really not for our national defense. It builds the state, so it's used as an excuse, the war against terrorism. You know, we're not safer now, even though some people feel safer. We're more vulnerable than ever. But it's a war, and when there's a war mentality, they can use that as an excuse for giving up your liberties.
Oh, yeah.
I've had more people tell me, giving up a little bit of liberty makes no difference because I'm safer. So that's the attitude that I'm trying to prevent.
Well, Ron, I'll tell you, I go through the airport and I have been sexually molested. If you did this to me or some guy did it to me, I could have you put in jail. And I'm telling you, it wasn't just searching for something. It was a full-on sexual assault by a man at an airport, TSA, and I could not get his name. Oh, we don't give names. They do whatever the hell they want. My wife is hot. I married a good-looking woman, 12 years my junior. They always got to pull her aside and do the two-finger sweep. And I hear him talk, let's get her, the TSA thugs. And we just put up with it. It is amazing. And, little by little, it's much how they got the people ready to get on the boxcars to go off to Auschwitz. We are giving up our rights and smiling while they treat us like garbage, and we're paying their salaries.
And yet
wow.
There's technology available where they would never have to touch us, and they would never have to invade our privacy, and they could still double-check and make sure that we're not any of the bad guys. But instead, what are they doing? They're molesting women that are old and in wheelchairs.
Let's get that old lady. Yeah, let's get that little baby. Listen, Giuliani has come after you pretty fiercely. What would a Giuliani presidency be like, Ron Paul, presidential candidate?
Well, a lot of rules and laws have been changed in this administration. They have been used in many ways, but not yet in a gross way against all American citizens. Giuliani is capable of making use of all the law change, holding individuals without habeas corpus and no due process and warrantless searches. I think he would not hesitate for a minute to use all those powers because many of his statements indicate that he is an authoritarian. He's not concerned about civil liberties. He's interested in order under his rules and regulations. I think it would be not a very good thing for the American citizen to have him.
Mitt Romney on tomorrow. What do you want me to ask him?
Well, I guess you can work him over on his inconsistencies, why changing positions is actually something that we can believe in. That's typical of politicians. That's nothing new.
RonPaul2008.com, that's your website?
That is it.
Sorry if I made you feel uncomfortable.
Oh, no, you did okay.
All right.